High in the Andes, 12,800 feet above sea level, sits a vast, arid mountain plain known as the Bolivian Altiplano. The air is thin, the environment is harsh, and temperatures regularly drop below freezing. Right near the southern shore of Lake Titicaca, seen here, lies an archaeological site that has baffled visitors for hundreds of years. When 16th-century European explorers arrived at Puma Punku, they found a complex of deeply carved stones that had already been abandoned and left in ruins. Since that first contact, the site has generated centuries of intense debate. Today, the controversy focuses on the physical reality of the stones they left behind, constructions that appear to exceed the technological limits of the civilization that built them. The blocks at Puma Punku are cut to tolerances that modern engineers have measured in millimeters. In this photograph, you can see the complex geometry involved. These H-shaped blocks were carved to interlock with other blocks in 3 dimensions, ground smooth enough that 2 surfaces pressed together leave no gap. Beyond the right-angle cuts, the stones feature deep channels and precise drill holes cut into andesite and red sandstone, materials that are incredibly difficult to shape without machining. This map illustrates another major hurdle: the origin of these blocks. The heaviest monoliths weigh up to 440 tons and were quarried at sites up to 90 kilometers away, requiring them to be hauled across the Altiplano and up to this extreme elevation. These documented, measurable facts present a stark engineering puzzle. How were these precise, massive stones shaped and moved by a civilization lacking modern machining or metal tools? The builders were the Tiwanaku, an empire that dominated the region for 7 centuries, from roughly 300 to 1000 AD. This image captures the sheer scale of the larger Tiwanaku ceremonial complex, where Puma Punku stood as the architectural centerpiece of a massive capital. This diagram shows how they sustained that population using raised field agriculture. By digging channels, water would absorb sunlight during the day and radiate heat at night, creating localized microclimates that protected crops from frost. Mainstream archaeology credits this stonework to massive, organized labor. They suggest that over centuries, skilled craftsmen used abrasion, pounding, and wooden templates to achieve this level of consistency. In this view, the site represents the peak of a long, sophisticated human tradition of stoneworking, rather than a sudden technological anomaly. Even while acknowledging the Tiwanaku's capabilities, specific elements of Puma Punku challenge conventional theories. The mechanical problem lies here, attempting to replicate millimeter-precise drill holes in ultra-hard andesite using the stone and bone tools available at the time. Those tools strike ineffectively against a rock surface this dense. There is also the logistical difficulty of the transport. Moving multi-hundred-ton monoliths across rough terrain in the thin air of a 12,800-foot environment requires an immense amount of sustained, organized force. Experimental archaeology has tested ropes, ramps, and sleds, yet a fully convincing demonstration of this construction process at this scale has never been achieved. These material and logistical gaps are real engineering mysteries. They deserve rigorous investigation with the tools of material science, rather than supernatural shortcuts. Today, popular discussion of the site is dominated by the claim that extraterrestrial visitors or a lost supercivilization built it. There is no physical evidence to support this. Construction is firmly established within the Tiwanaku era. The alien myth relies on the assumption that an indigenous Andean culture was fundamentally incapable of such ingenuity. This exact same bias is applied to monuments in North Africa, where the engineering achievement of the Egyptian pyramids is frequently attributed to outside visitors. We see this skepticism applied to prehistoric Western European structures, as with the massive sarsen stones at Stonehenge. The same bias reaches the earliest megalithic structures in the Middle East, such as the pillars of Göbekli Tepe. The ancient alien theory is a factual error that erases the genuine brilliance of non-Western and ancient peoples. Puma Punku was damaged by the collapse of the Tiwanaku state around 1000 AD, and further dismantled by Spanish colonizers. But the builders did not vanish. Their descendants, the Aymara people, still live and farm on the Altiplano today, speaking a language related to that of their ancestors. Believing in the extreme limits of human determination is more demanding than believing in aliens, but it provides a more honest account of what people can achieve. Next time, we leave the high altitude of the Andes for the freezing, cold, dark waters of the Baltic Sea. In 2011, a Swedish salvage team found a 60-meter disc-like anomaly on the ocean floor. The object appeared to have distinct structural features and reportedly caused electronic equipment to malfunction as they approached. While geologists identify it as a natural glacial formation, the rigid geometry leads others to seek a different explanation for the Baltic Sea anomaly.